Hey there guys, I'm just going to do a quick review of new Toshiba, well not necessarily new, but Toshiba Satellite Pro 8350. Sorry about that, I just had to use a couple of tools to do screen capturing. I'll just go through the exact hardware that's in this model to launch this up. So this is the i3-2350M processor. It's got 4 GB of RAM, and it's got the integrated Intel 3000 series HD graphics onboard chipset for graphics. In terms of how it's working pretty good. Pretty fast so far. Obviously I haven't got much installed on it yet, so I've just got the general applications, all the office and stuff I need for my studies installed. But yeah, it's pretty good so far. I'm just using this as a general use laptop. You probably wouldn't use it as anything more, and it's doing the job pretty well. In terms of battery life, I'm pretty impressed. It's just literally halved because I started screen capturing, but before I did this it was actually on 4.5 hours at 84%. So you can actually get close to sort of 4.5 to 5 hours out of it on the eco mode. That's really good because the eco mode, where possible, locks your processor to the lowest clock speed it can go to. That's 0.74 GHz on this one. It can be forced above that if it starts freezing up, but I've noticed where possible it will definitely force it to be at that speed. I'll just apply the delete button. See if it's locked at that speed at the minute. Come on, Task Manager. There we go. Performance. Okay, it's up at this speed at the minute, but it will tend to stick at lower speeds if it can. What am I running that's using? Oh, I'm screen capturing, so it's been forced to go faster. That makes sense, but yeah, a lot of the time it's there. In terms of build quality, I can't really show you this because I haven't got a video camera, unfortunately, but it's pretty good for the price. It's hard plastic. There's not much flex in it that I can feel. The keyboard's pretty nice to use, fairly responsive. The touchpad's fairly responsive. That's quite a big thing when you're buying a new laptop, especially a budget one. And the battery life, like I said, is pretty good. The screen is incredibly good. I've never had one of these sort of matte style screens, anti-glare. I've always had the glossy ones that come with things like Dell or HP, and this is just so much better. I can use this in the sunlight and I can see everything. I'm really impressed with that. One of the best features of this laptop, I've got to say, like being able to use it outside is just so much better. Another thing I'm really impressed with is the lack of bloatware. There is Toshiba only apps on this. Let's go to Toshiba service station just to prove it's a Toshiba laptop. So there are some Toshiba only apps, but there are very few that will start up on startup. So you're not going to be slowing down your startup time with them. And those that are don't hardly use any processing power, then you can turn them off. If you go to the startup menu in Task Manager, and it's just these three at the bottom that have no startup impact according to that, but I've disabled them, just personal preference. This is the Windows 8 Task Manager. If you didn't know, you go Task Manager, you go more details. It will originally open like this. You go more details and you get all these options, and you just click Startup, and you can just enable and disable with this button here. This is just to prove that it's this laptop. So it's Satellite Pro C850 1M7. I don't know what the 1M7 stands for, but the C850 is the main bit. And this is good because this can just download all driver updates and stuff straight down to your computer, but it doesn't start up with the computer. It only checks when you want to check. That's a really good feature. I hate the stuff that sort of Dell and HP put on that just check automatically, and I don't want it to. So yeah, it's running pretty good so far. Anything else you want to know? I'll just launch up control panel to look at the Windows index. I'm not sure I've actually done this yet. System. Ooh. It has got Windows 8 on it. That's a bit controversial because sort of I know some people quite like it, some people really hate it. With a passion. Oh, okay, I haven't actually got that done yet, but there we go. Some people really hate it with a passion, some people really like it, and personally I like it. It does take some getting used to, there's no denying that, but once you're used to it, it's really, really good. Windows 8.1 is coming out soon, and that will allow launch to desktop. That's the only thing I don't like about it. You always launch into this Metro style interface here, but as soon as you're used to it, then it's not an issue. The issue with people saying it's bad is that a lot of them haven't actually used it, they've just seen reviews and decided for themselves before actually trying it. And I mean, I would learn a few key gestures, things like start button X brings up this thing for programs and features, and disk manager. Just pressing the start button takes you back to the start screen. Start button Q brings up the search screen. Things like these keyboard gestures are really, as soon as you learn a few of them, Windows 8 is so fast and so much more productive. So yeah, I think that's a very, very quick overview of the Satellite Pro. But basically, for general use, this is a really good laptop. With this eco option, it can force itself out of that power saving mode like it is at the minute, because VLC is just using so much processing power doing screen capturing. But it's normally going to hold itself down at that sort of 0.76 gigahertz, and that is incredibly useful because it just, you save so much power. I had this running from sort of 11:30 in the morning till 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I only had to plug it in at 4 o'clock. Just doing Word and web browsing for revision with PowerPoint, and yeah, it did that incredibly well. It's fairly light, so it's fairly portable, and it's not too thick for a laptop either. It's not sort of ultrabook or anything like that, nowhere near that, but it's not a bulky laptop. I'd say it's sort of somewhere in the middle. That's quite good, and like I say, responsive touchpad, and it's got a full style keyboard that I really like, because you don't often get the numpad sort of thing on the right hand side of the keyboard on laptop keyboards, and this one has it included, that I really like, because I do like that numpad. But yeah, thanks a lot for listening. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video review. Give me a comment for suggestions for future reviews. Please subscribe to the channel and view any of my other videos that look interesting. I've got a few on